NCAA tournament is finally over with the first weekend, and yesterday's games, first three were awesome games, and then the last five were horrible and made me want to fall asleep. First three games, of course the first one was Stanford and Kansas. Not surprised Kansas goes down. Without Joel Embiid, it's just hard for them to be able to, be a complete team. And Andrew Wiggins, he just didn't have a great game, and if he wasn't going to have a great game, then the whole team was going to go down, and there just wasn't much they could do about it. It kind of sucks for them that, they didn't have Embiid, but it's just the way it goes sometimes. Stanford moves on to play Dayton in the Sweet 16. Should be an interesting matchup. The second game, Kentucky and Wichita State. I was nervous about this game because I knew Kentucky could beat them if they played their best, and my God, they brought it. Not only were they clicking on all cylinders, shooting the ball, over 50%, but, defensively they had problems in the first half. They were guarding the perimeter, but they were leaving the lane wide open for the Wichita State players to drive and get layups. They changed that in the second half. Their defense changed, and they didn't allow much of that to happen, so they made Wichita State really work in the second half. And then the other thing that Kentucky did really well is hit free throws, and that's something you don't see much out of being done well by a John Calipari coached team. So gotta hand it to Kentucky. I think that was the best basketball game they've played this season. But they really get up for their big opponents. I mean, if they don't win the games, they're right there. Michigan State at the beginning of the season and Florida. So 2 of the 3 times, and the third time that they still got beat by double digits. They came back at one point and made it real close. So I mean, they don't like being considered the underdog. They don't like being told that somebody's better than them, and when that happens, they have that chip on their shoulder and they play hard. And I hate Kentucky. I hate their guts, but my hat's off to them. You got to applaud their effort. They're freshmen, and I know they're all talented and everything, but they just beat a team that went to the Final Four last year. And the sad thing about it is Wichita State, it hurts their legacy because they didn't even make the Sweet 16. This team that went undefeated, and they didn't even make the Sweet 16. And some people might say that they're overrated and they're not as good as a 1 seed. I can't really disagree with people that say that, but let's hold out on judging how good they were by how well Kentucky does. If Kentucky can go on and win a national championship and nobody challenged them the way that Wichita State challenged them, maybe Wichita State really was a 1 seed. Maybe they were the 2nd or the 3rd best team in the country, if that happens. I mean, kind of be shocking, but shockers. But yeah, crazy. Third game, Iowa State, North Carolina. That was a heck of a game, and of course, we had that time issue at the end of the game. Timekeeper doesn't know how to do time right, and that's not the first time that's ever happened. That is the same person that screwed up the end of the Butler and Xavier game a few years ago. Butler won at Hinkle Fieldhouse. Xavier pukes on that team like Freeze, and I don't know. He was the big goon on that team that went and tore a water fountain off the wall at Hinkle and tore some other stuff up. Morons. But yeah, it happened then too. But that person apparently doesn't know how to work a clock and shouldn't be employed anymore for an NCAA game. Maybe go to Division II or Division III, but that's bullcrap. That stuff shouldn't be happening. And for 2 times that's happened now, that's stupid. But anyway, stupid on Roy Williams' part to try to call a timeout in that situation. I mean, the clock's running. You had the ball with like 3 seconds, and you're trying to call a timeout there. That's stupid. Just let it happen. Why do coaches want to call a timeout in that situation? You're letting the defense get set up. So, if I was a coach, I'd just let it play out, and what happens happens. So, but yeah, those were the 3 really good games, and you had the 5 awful games. UCLA over Stephen F. Austin, not even close. UCLA wins by 17. Virginia over Memphis, 78-60. That one wasn't even close. Virginia hit all their 3-pointers. Their defense made Memphis look stupid. What else was there? Arizona over Gonzaga, 84-61. I knew that wasn't going to be close. Too much talent for Arizona and not enough for Gonzaga. Baylor over Creighton, 85-55. Did not expect that. Baylor made Creighton look stupid. Doug McDermott couldn't score. They just suffocated him. Then you've got Tennessee over Mercer, 83-63. Another one that was another crap game. Tennessee just, I knew they were going to beat them bad, and they did. So I think I mentioned them all. So Sweet 16 got some interesting matchups. I'm trying to think which one I like the best. Kentucky Louisville, you got to go with that. It's one of the biggest rivalries in college basketball, probably right behind Duke and North Carolina. So I'd say that's the matchup I'm looking forward to, even though I don't really like either team. But I respect awesome rivalries like that. So I'm definitely going to be tuning in when there's never a year where I don't watch an NCAA tournament game. So anyway, if you guys want to discuss this, there's a lot that can be talked about. If you guys want to give me your thoughts on the action so far, go ahead and post a comment down below. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good one.